You clicked on this video, you probably care about Bitcoin. You probably care about Bitcoin, the asset, and you probably care about helping other people understand Bitcoin. Well, I care too. I care too, and that's why I put out so much content in regards to Bitcoin, in regards to energy and currencies, and many of the things that you also probably care about. I do my absolute best to put out as much free content as I can, and podcasts, videos, tweets, threads, articles. I try to do it all. And one thing that I think will have value for other people is a movie, because most people don't want to spend hundreds of hours of listening to a podcast. They don't want to spend a whole bunch of hours of reading a book or a series of articles or a bunch of long rants and musings from some kid on YouTube. A lot of people learn best through interactive video content or through documentaries and movies, and so I think that is something that really could be helpful for people, that specific medium. But it's also not just the medium, of course, it's the story that is told. And I think something that I have brought that's of value to other people online as they read my work is the perspective I give in my stories and give in explaining Bitcoin. People say it's a different perspective not heard before, or it's a different articulation of similar perspectives they heard before, but whatever the case, whatever it's meant to you, that's my hope, to make something that's in an engaging medium that people will actually watch and actually put the time in to learn. But then also, it's told in a way, and it's told in a manner, it's told with a perspective that they've not heard before, that they perhaps haven't heard from other Bitcoiners, and that perhaps could give them a unique perspective that gives them the motivation to learn more about Bitcoin. Obviously, you care about accelerating Bitcoin adoption for your own stack, for your own sats and your own Bitcoin, but also because they're people you care about, most probably. And so this project I'm working on is an attempt to hopefully chip away both of those problems simultaneously, to, number one, accelerate Bitcoin adoption, and then number two, help people have something they can direct their loved ones to, their family, their friends, their coworkers, their business partners, their customers, their clients, whomever they want to direct to Bitcoin content. Hopefully it's an easy starting off point that's engaging, that's entertaining, and really keeps people engaged from start to finish, and not just another Bitcoin podcast or another Bitcoin show that you gotta watch this, man. Hopefully it's something unique and something different that perhaps captures that unique bit of perspective. And so something that I've been thinking about is, what's the potential reach of this project, of this film? Well, I think this is going to be good enough and have a production quality enough that perhaps it reaches 1 million views. I've seen other Bitcoin documentaries that have gotten 1 million views or more. I think this would be comparable to those, and perhaps even better, depending on the documentary, depending on the target audience. But yeah, I think easily 1 million views could be attainable, especially we have a bull market in 2024 and 2025, which, let's be honest, most of us think it's going to happen. But yeah, 1 million views, and so let's be conservative here, and let's say 2% of those 1 million views are people that actually watch it all the way through, from start to finish, and they consider the perspectives and the points and arguments made in the movie. Okay, 2% out of 1 million is roughly 20,000. Let's say 21,000 just because, we like the number 21. If 21,000 people walk away from this movie having a new appreciation for Bitcoin, a new appreciation for their fanatic and obsessed loved ones that are obsessed and fanatical about Bitcoin, I think that's a effort that's really worth my time, personally. I'm putting in a lot of time into this. I volunteered my time writing the script. I'm volunteering so much of my mental capacity and my effort into this thing. And a lot of other people are putting in a whole lot of work to it too, either at reduced pay or completely voluntary. We're all putting in a whole lot of work at making this possible, and that's a vision I think that we all can get behind, is thinking like, wow, what if 10,000 or 20,000, 21,000, or even more, what if they are all orange-pilled by this experience? And so then that enters another question. How much money, how much new capital is that chasing Bitcoin? What if, let's say, we have a concert of 21,000 people that are orange-pilled in some degree because of this final product, of this final movie, and what if, on average, every single one of them takes $1,000 of their political currency units, of their political debt instruments like bonds, or their corporate paper instruments like stocks? What if they take $1,000 and they buy Bitcoin with that? Well, what's 21,000 times 1,000? What is that? 2 million? I don't know. That's pretty interesting to me. I think it's 2 million. Let me make sure if I'm getting this right, because I don't want to get 20,000 times 1,000. Yeah, no, 21 million. Oh my goodness. Wow. If 21,000 people walk away from this movie being orange-pilled, and each one of them takes $1,000 of political currency and they buy Bitcoin, that's $21 million chasing Bitcoins. And now, how many Bitcoins is that? How many Bitcoins could be taken off exchanges because of that? If we just say $30,000 for that, 700 Bitcoins. Wow. Okay. I, I, I was off by order of magnitude there. Wow, that's really cool. That's amazing. So yeah, if 21,000 people are orange pilled by this movie, and they all go out and they buy on average $1,000 worth of Bitcoin, that's $21 million, otherwise known as 700 Bitcoins. But I mean, I think that's low. I think that's conservative. Perhaps it's 2,000. Perhaps it's 5 or 10,000. Let's say it's 5,000 because obviously it takes just a couple of people with six-figure positions to offset the many more people that don't have those six-figure positions. You know, what if we take an average of 10,000 political currency units, U.S. dollars, acquiring Bitcoin, taking them off exchanges as the end result of this project? Well, let's see. What would that be? That'd be 200. That'd be $200 million, perhaps, as a result of this film. Granted, that capital would probably flow to Bitcoin anyway, since we all understand the game theory of Bitcoin. Obviously, Bitcoin doesn't need me to make this movie for that to happen. But that's a very interesting thought. What if this project, by all our small efforts, my small effort, the small efforts of other people contributing to this project, their time and their skills and labor, and other people donating and supporting this project financially speaking, what if it compounds that by the release of this project and the end of this project, we're looking at tens of millions, if not hundreds of millions of dollars that are chasing the remaining Bitcoins on exchanges and taking them off. I mean, I don't know. That seems pretty interesting to me. And so then that's okay. It's not just about me. It's not just about the people that are helping make the project possible. It's about people like you. I'm making this video because I was just looking at the Geyser page for the project here. We're just about to hit 200 individual supporters are making this project possible. We raised just over, 23 million Satoshi, so just over a fifth of a Bitcoin, just under a quarter of a Bitcoin, which is roughly a third of what we need to complete the project. And people are excited about it. And so just under 200 people individually have contributed to this project, and that's just amazing to me. What if somebody that's contributed $100 to this project, you know, movie costs roughly $20,000 to make, roughly 20,000 people are orange pilled, roughly for every dollar donated, there's one new person that's orange pilled. I mean, $100 donation, that could be 100 people, 100 new Bitcoiners that are accelerating Bitcoin adoption, that start encouraging their own families and their own coworkers and their own networks to start learning about Bitcoin. I mean, just from a $100 donation to this project, I think it's completely feasible, although not guaranteed, but completely feasible and realistic that it could result in millions, if not multiple millions, maybe even $10 million of new capital eventually chasing Bitcoin. And to me, that's just a fascinating thought to think about. You know, I mean, let's think pragmatically. If there's $20,000 cost for production, you know, $100, that's 100 people. If every single one of those 100 people eventually allocate 10,000 political currency units, 10,000 US dollars for Bitcoin, that's $1 million. And so, you know, I guess I'm very grateful for the 191 of you out there somewhere on the internet that have donated for this project. I'm very grateful to you. I'm very grateful for all the people making this project real. And I would encourage you, if you want to turn $100 into, let's say, $1 million, maybe even more, of new capital chasing Bitcoin, accelerating Bitcoin adoption, taking Bitcoin off exchanges, I can't tell you what to do with your money, and you have to discern for yourself if you think it's wise or not, but I would really encourage you to think about that. Take $100, allocate it to this project, and help make that vision possible, because we need you. It's taking a lot of effort. It's very expensive. Any of you out there that are in the video production business or made a movie before, you know how cheap $20,000 is, and you know how aggressive we are trying to make this thing in 7 months. We're being very aggressive. I think we're putting in a great amount of work into it, and I think it's going to be a really good product. And so if you're out there and you're considering to do that, it would really mean the world to me. It would mean the world to everyone else involved, and I think ultimately you're going to accelerate Bitcoin adoption. You know, albeit in a small way, as we're all contributing in a small way, but I think it's very real. And so if you can't do $100, you know, do whatever amount you want, more or less, whatever you can justify. There's a cutoff for $30, 100,000 Satoshis, 30 U.S. political currency units, either one. And at that cutoff, you get your name in the credits. So hopefully, again, addressing the other problem, hopefully having something you can direct your family or friends to, that's hopefully something that I can provide to you that's of use, that you can say to your family and friends, hey, look, I donated $30 to this project, and it's got 1 million views on YouTube or whatever, and my name's in the credits. You should click on it so you can see my name in the credits. 1 million people have seen my name or whatever. Not you saying that in vanity, but it's like, hey, check out this cool thing I was a part of. You know, hopefully for you, that can help explain to your family, explain to your friends or coworkers, whomever, that, okay, this is why I'm obsessed about this thing. Go watch this movie. I helped make it. You know, so hopefully for me, it's a way of getting my name out there, getting my perspectives out there. Hopefully for you, it's a tool in your orange pilling arsenal that you can help your family and friends for them better understanding you and why you're so crazy obsessed about this thing, but also in helping them adopt Bitcoin sooner. And also, hopefully, it's a use to the network and a use to accelerating Bitcoin adoption. That perhaps with that donation, not only do you help me, do you help yourself, do you help your family, but you also could be indirectly responsible for multiple millions of dollars of new capital that's chasing Bitcoin and having the flow of exchanges. So I really encourage you to do that. There's links in the descriptions for Bitcoin avenues and fiat avenues to donate to this project, The Case for Bitcoin, the movie, and it would really mean the world to me if you consider it. Thank you.